Welcome to Carefree Black Girl podcast, everyone, where we discuss everything carefree, black, and girl. Hey, everyone, I'm April Harley, a.k.a. DJ She's A+, a.k.a. your favorite fundraiser's favorite fundraiser. And I'm going to kick it to Hazel.
Hey y'all, it's Hazel Harvey, the realest of the real and the doll of the hour, and passing it to the doctor of the hour. Hi y'all, it's your favorite Thera Fairy, Dr. Phoenix Loves, your favorite fantasy baddie and blur historian. And today we gonna kick back, relax. Our last episode was a little heavy. We gonna woo-saw a little bit, and we gonna let April start by taking us on a smooth ride.
Perfect.
Where we going?
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're talking today about main character energy or main character delusion. All right.
Delusional.
So this episode, we're going to be talking about self-awareness, accountability, growth, and staying grounded while still choosing yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and get it kicked off with the first topic of discussion. So what's the difference between confidence and delusion?
Those are two, I feel like delusion, and maybe this is like my clinical hat, is when it becomes harmful. Like, yeah, I'm the main character, I'm that bitch, this and that, but if it becomes so delusional to where you're not considering the people who are helping you, the people in your lives, you're making reckless decisions, then Delulu is not the Salulu, okay? But if it's like, you know what? This might be a long shot, but I'm going to take it anyway. Then Delulu is the Salulu. Okay? So I think it's the amount of harm in the delusion. Oh, no. But why can't you be delusion and you're confident? Why? What's the problem with that? I think you can. Like I said, as long as it's not harmful, if you, Delulu is the Salulu, you say you want to be a singer, but you can't hold a note. Okay.
Baby.
All right. Okay. I see what you're saying now. I don't know. You about to lose the apartment. You tried to say a thing. We done been doing it for, people, the Lulu might not be the Slulu. Well, I mean, true. And now that I'm kind of getting the question, y'all know I'm a little blind. Because I also feel like being confident is like staying true to who you are. Yeah. It's really not about making a kick. I do feel like you can still be a little delusional, but it's more of like an affirming delusional.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually doing something because I'm being delusional because this is what I want. Like this is where I see myself in the next few months. Not like, oh, I'm delusional. Like, oh, I will never see myself in this kind of predicament because it will never happen to me. But more of a affirming situation.
Yeah,
so that's I think what the difference is. Like more your confidence because you're standing on the real who you are, real as you can be.
Right.
Yeah.
And adding on to what Doc was saying, I'm thinking when I think Delulu or delusion, I'm thinking about the example you gave about the singer. So if you're like, all right, I'm quitting everything to start my singing career, and you just going right for it, and you don't necessarily have the voice, you're just going for it. That's delusional.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's not delusional. That's crazy.
Delulu, not Delulu.
You is crazy.
Delulu, that's Delulu. However, you might be able to dial that back to confidence because it's like, okay, I really want to pursue this path. I kind of have a voice. I'm going to take singing lessons.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn the business. I'm going to do everything I need to know in advance so I can map out my plan and my strategy. Maybe I'm not just quitting my job today, like I'm going to go sing tomorrow. Maybe it's like, let me craft out my 3-month plan. Let me buy my sessions, doing that kind of part. So you're confident in being able to make a swift transition or make a transition, but you're not delusional enough to believe, well, I can just do this right now, right here, right now, today.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that impulsiveness is like a key to it too. Like if you want to quit your job to be a content creator and you have gained 1 million followers, you starting to kind of see some, revenue come in and you you know what, I'm going to be Delulu the next 6 months. I'm going to really go for it. Yes. But if you I just always wanted to be a content creator, I'm tired of working, and you got 100 followers, nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying you still gotta live, okay?
Okay.
So, let's not be so delulu that the Salulu have us, just have a plan, y'all. Just have
being
a
a
foo-foo.
Right. Doc, I would love to know, what do you think what's the difference? So, like, what would be the difference between somebody making that delulu decision versus the confident decision? Like, what was it? What do you think makes people want to just go, I'm going from 0 to 100 without having that real thought process, or like, hey, maybe I should map this out?
Ooh, that could be a couple of things. Clinically, impulsiveness can go from, there are a lot of disorders that have impulsiveness, like ADHD, some forms of schizoaffective disorder, some narcissistic disorders have a set of impulsivity. Some people have no disorder. They just have learned bad habits. Like, impulsiveness has worked for them to a point. I used to say this about my little brother. I called him like Teflon Don because he would always get in trouble, but not enough for it to stick. Like, I shouldn't do that anymore. He always got in enough trouble to be like, that was close. So I can still get away with it again. And Delulu, where it's not like a problem, is you do informed decision making, like you said. Like, if you know you can sing the house down, but you haven't had the opportunity and you just need the right environment. And so you're like, okay, I'm going to take a chance. I saved up for 6 months. I'm going to move. It's not as delusional. You have real experience, lived experience, and knowing that you can be safe and be well. Where Delulu ain't this Lulu is when it becomes a harm to you. Like you said, you're going to be homeless. You're not going to know how you're going to eat. You're not going to have a support system, especially if you're in like a marginalized community where people can take advantage of you. So I think that makes a difference is, why are you making the decision? Like, is the decision sound? Are you going to feel this way next week? Or is your boss just getting on your fucking nerves today? Like, let's separate the two. Like,
Right.
once you go home, you have the weekend. You like, okay, all right, I can do 6 more months.
Right.
But decipher, which one is it? Like, I don't know. I really been thinking about this for a long time. I got real receipts. I really feel it. What's motivating the decision, I think, is a big thing in the Delulu.
That's good. That's good. Well, have you all ever thought that you were the main character energy, but had to humble yourself? I wouldn't say it's like in a real big type of situation, but I'm just thinking about with my client this weekend fundraising. We're working on a conference, and we had a prep call with one of the folks who's speaking, and she was it was a very interesting kind of vibe coming off of her on this call. And I was leading the call, and I was like, okay, did I do something to her? Or, what kind of thing? And then when I talked to the team after the call, we were talking about it, and it was like, didn't y'all feel it was that energy off? Was the vibe? And it was like, yeah. And then we were talking about it, and then we said, well, maybe we should take a step back. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with me or with us. Maybe she didn't have no lunch. Maybe she didn't have breakfast. It's just sometimes, sometimes when you are thinking, oh shoot, you just a hater, you coming at me, and it's like, what? It might not be you, friend. It might be that person is just going through whatever. It's kind of cliche saying that we never know what people are going through, but it's really, really true. So that's not like a huge thing, but it was something that really made me have to like take a beat, step back, think this week, like, okay, everything isn't all about you, boo. Some people are really having things that they are dealing with, and you just don't have any, it just comes out.
That's why I was saying, like, no for me, because, like, that's not how I was raised. How I was raised was, like I wasn't raised to be selfish. Like, I was taught to share and all those things. So, like you said with that story, that's how I looked at it. I would have looked at her like, oh, who this bitch gonna attitude with? Bitch, do she not know who I am? She know I would cost this video call and snatch her at. But no, like, I would think like, oh, like, that's what I would think. Like, and especially if it's because professional, like, way, I would think like, oh, maybe she just having a bad day. Like, maybe it had nothing to do with me. I think like that. So I move humbly in life. So that's why I don't feel like I don't ever have to humble myself, because I just know who I am. Like, and I also try to fit in to be the main character. In a way. I also don't ever move like that in any kind of circle or spaces I'm in, because I just think it's not, I don't know, like, I don't ever like looking higher than somebody. That's just me. Like, I don't like to be the higher main attention. If I am, because that's just naturally me. But I don't ever go and reach for it.
Yeah.
So y'all, lately I've been more intentional about what I wear day to day, leaning into pieces that feel effortless, comfortable, and still put together. It just makes getting dressed simpler. Quince has been my go-to. The fabrics feel elevated, the fits are flattering, and everything just works without overthinking it. Quince makes it easy to refresh your everyday this spring with pieces that feel as good as they look. They use premium materials like 100% European linen, organic cotton, and ultra soft denim. Their lightweight linen pants, dresses, and tops start at $30 and are effortless, breathable, and easy to wear and repeat. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middleman, so you're paying for quality and craftsmanship, not just brand markup. Listen, this is why y'all see me in this chocolate spandex set. It's my favorite go-to. I love working out in it. When I do my jumping jacks, heavy lifting, everything, the fit just stays in place and it fits very, very well. You can be like me too. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/CFBGpod for free shipping on your order and 365 days of returns. Now available in Canada too. That's quince.com/CFBGpod for free shipping and 365 days of returns. Quince.com/CFBGpod.
I feel so, I think, grounded in who I am that I don't have to be the main character in every scenario. Like, if I see somebody, they desperately need that. In my head, sometimes in some experiences, I'll be like, oh, you want to be Beyonce today? Okay, girl.
I like that. I like that.
Because I'm the main character in my life. It's clear this meeting, this event, you need this. You need to be Beyonce. So you do it, girl. Damn it. If you want me to get out, I ain't got to be on the stage with you. I could be in the audience. Maybe not a part of your beehive, but it's cool because I feel like I feel so aligned with who I am that I can exist with other people who are aligned with who they are. So we could all be the main characters in our own stories and maybe they just intersect. Right. And that's fine with me. But if I see somebody like they feel like they story got to be the most important out of you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it, girl. You be Beyonce, girl. You do it, girl. Cause like I said, I feel so grounded. And then I've just been doing a lot of challenging and deconstructing some of the individualism I've learned just from growing up in America, especially during these times. Like communal thinking and being a part of the whole is important, and knowing that you don't have to be the main character for everything. There are some people who are just going to be more equipped to be in that moment. And so I try to challenge that a lot because I think about, especially with the way this country is going, like I wonder if we could ever have like a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X, where people don't realize a lot of the ways that they were able to travel and get to do things is because the community said, no, you're the one. So you could stay here, you could eat here, we're gonna donate to this. And I try to adopt that mindset so that it's appropriate. Like, yes, I'm gonna be a main character sometime. We talking about mental health and I feel like that's my shit. I can be on it. But if we're talking about finance, somebody else gotta do it. Somebody else gotta be the Beyonce. And I try to make sure I reconcile that. Like, all of my opinions don't have to be heard all the time. And that's where, again, I think Delulu crosses over to being harmful. Some people think everything they have to say about every topic should matter. And it don't.
You're right. And I'm glad you mentioned that about like how you've been thinking and deconstructing how you've maybe been living with that individualist feeling, because a lot of people don't do that. So, and I'd love to hear what y'all think about, like, when people say they're protecting their peace, are they really protecting their peace or are they avoiding accountability?
A lot of y'all love talking about attachment styles.
I'm one of them.
A lot of y'all talk about attachment styles, but a lot of y'all ain't protecting y'all peace. Y'all avoid it and y'all don't like conflict. So y'all just cut everything off because it's easier to be by yourself than to have a nuanced conversation.
You ain't gotta call me out like that.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying.
I ain't mean to blast, because protecting your peace can be like, oh, if somebody disagree with me, I'm cutting them off. Oh, if somebody say this, I'm cutting them off. Like, there are things, like, there are people I really look up to, like, just what we were talking, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Some things Martin Luther King said earlier, I fundamentally disagree with, but that doesn't mean everything he said was bad.
Yeah.
And I don't need to listen to shit he got to say. And I feel like protecting our peace, when people say that now, is getting dangerously close to that. Like, if a person hurts you, was the hurt so damaging that the bridge has to be burned, or can it be repaired? Like, you can't burn so many bridges, you on an island.
Right? That's my problem. It's like, well, that's why I feel like I said me, because like that I used to be that one to take the accountability and like hold people up to like, yeah, like I did this and I was wrong, and bitches will still slap me in the hand for it. Like, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you take accountability. It doesn't matter if you say sorry.
Yeah.
Bitch, you're still wrong. So in my opinion, I'm going to, quote unquote, protect my peace and not take accountability anymore, because, bitch, every time I do, people don't listen or pay attention. So why am I always being humble, going out my way to make sure people are, like, trying to care for people and care to people, and they don't care? So therefore, I'm going to protect my peace. Like, bitch, if you mad that I did something to you, bye. Be mad in the corner, bitch. I'm going to be protecting my peace and my space. Down. So I feel like if you're not going to be willing to accept my accountability, I'd rather protect my peace. I'm not going to deal with you keep harboring me about something that I did that I apologize to accountability for. If it still hurts, just move on. That's it. Protect your peace and move on, bitch, and protect my peace so I move on too.
So it's more like, all right, if I've done something to you, you brought it up, we've talked it through.
And that's the problem too. They don't even tell you.
So
they
be
protecting
living in
their peace.
That's what I'm
Don't even tell you that what you did. Like, they just act funny. Like, you come into the room, they're like,
that passive aggressiveness.
I know I did what I do.
Right.
And they're just like, and they just never seen it. They was like, oh, I was just protecting my peace. I didn't want to bring it up, because when you bring it up, you know you're wrong.
Yeah.
So, fair girl, fuck y'all. No shade.
I think it's like, I think people are afraid of conflict, which is why they go into the protective piece instead of accountability type piece. So I feel like because they see conflict as just one kind of way, and, don't want to make any indictments on any, like, the media. But I mean, over the last 20 years, a lot of conflict resolution we've seen on reality TV shows is people throwing drinks or wine or water in each other's faces. So if you're growing up and that's the way that you're seeing conflict and conflict resolution, then you might want to, like, shy away from getting into conflict. But conflict don't have to look like that. It can be like, well, it's uncomfortable, right? But you can be like, especially if it's someone who was in your circle, your friend, your family, you can talk to them and say, hey, when you did XYZ, that was harmful to me. You may not have known it, but I want to bring that up to you because it was hurtful. And, if for us to continue being in a relationship, we got to interact differently. So you're able to bring up what happened, the challenge, the beef, whatever you want to call it. It's not really beef. It's just like, we all different people. So we're going to have things that kind of butt up against each other. So when you bring it to someone and then it's their choice whether or not they want to be accountable for it and say, oh, I didn't even realize I had done that. Or they'd be like, shit, I meant to do it. But, okay. But I won't do it again. And then they follow it up with action, like they actually don't do it again, versus protecting their peace, being like, well, she got mad at me because I said XYZ and I didn't even mean it like that. I just think it's, once we get okay with understanding that conflict doesn't have to be, like, really bad or mean or, violent, then we can really take the step towards being accountable for our actions and then moving forward.
That's so weird.
I think protecting your peace be making some of y'all lonely. I'ma just leave it at that. And also, just because you're the main character doesn't mean you need a villain. Stop creating conflict and
That's
thinking
a
you have
word.
haters and stuff. Girl, don't nobody care about you. Shit too high. Everybody is trying to pay bills.
Okay, not everybody is out to get you.
Yeah.
Right. So along those lines, how do you know when you're the problem in the situation? Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
I feel like I always tell people one of the easiest ways to know if you are truly emotionally evolving, look at all your friendships. Have you ever been a bad friend? And if your immediate answer is no, I ain't never been a bad friend. Everybody's always hurt me. Everybody's always betrayed me. It's always everybody's fault. Miss Ma'am, sir, like, there are times everybody consists of good and bad habits. It's just the way we grow up. But if you cannot look at all of your past relationships and look at sometimes where it's like, I wasn't all the way wrong, but I wasn't all the way right either. You can't look back and see those things and say, okay, moving forward, maybe I shouldn't just cuss people the fuck out and go to sleep. So yeah, you just got to know if you're the problem and some of your habits are the problem. Hazel, what about you, girl? Have you ever looked back?
I mean, now that you break it down that way, the problem, but
Little Miss Drama.
I'm not like, but it don't be intentional. Like, I think like you were saying as of like, whatchamacallit. Damn, I forgot the word you were saying, but to go back to it, it's just like, I'm the problem, but it's more just like, because I'm not a bad friend, but I'm not a perfect friend. That's why I do not like, nobody is my quote unquote, I hate the term best friend. I do not like that term. Bitch, I had one best friend in like middle school going to high school, and that was my one ender, and I said, nothing bad happened. Like, we didn't have a nasty fallout or nothing. We just grew apart, and it was like, we weren't best friends anymore. So I was like, what's the point of having a best friend if they're not going to be a best friend? And that's all like I was talking about earlier, is about having a high expectation for somebody. Like, I don't look for a high expectation for somebody. So yeah, I don't think I'm a bad friend, but I'm also not a perfect friend. I'm going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It might be more than once. But like I told you, if you got a problem, see your way out the door. Don't keep coming back to me trying to act like we all good and we all cool. And it's like, no, bitch, I don't like when you do stuff like that because it pisses me off. And it's like, okay, well, friend, it's okay. We don't have to be aligned with each other. I'm probably a friend for somebody else, but I'm not the friend for you because what I do or the mistakes I make, you'll never be able to forgive me for. So if that's your boundary, then set that and keep it pushing. So what was the question again?
It was, when do you know that you're the problem in the relationship?
Yeah, so like, whenever someone comes to me about something, I know I did something wrong and I'm the problem. I'll never be like, oh, bitch, though. Like you said, I don't care, like, oh, well, you're mad, but I even meant it that way. Like, I'll say I didn't mean it that way, but I wouldn't hold it to you like, why are you upset because I did something that I didn't mean to do?
Right.
Like I said, it's either forgive or don't. Right. Keep it pushing.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm the problem. I am the drama. But it don't be intentional, y'all. Like, I don't go out. Like, there's really people out here who, like, intentionally do fucked up shit to people.
Yeah.
Especially of how they was raised and things like that. Like, that's how they do. I just make a oopsie. Like, bitch, oops, oh my girl, I just spilled your drink on you. I'm so sorry. Oh, no, bitch, you just filled my drink. My specialized outfit. Do you see how much this outfit cost? I was like, oh, bitch, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think, but to be able to recognize that is emotional maturity and it is growth. We're not all perfect all the time, but some people kind of portray like everybody in their life done dogged them out and did them wrong. Everybody hate them. Nobody fucks with them. Baby spit at them in the street. And it's like, okay,
what's going on?
What you been doing?
Right.
You know? So like, if you can't see times where it's like, I could have did that a little better, then you might be more of a problem than you think.
Right.
If you just think everything's peachy keen with you all the time, because nobody is. Nobody
So
right.
I'm
no
not
one's
the
perfect.
problem because I own my actions.
There
So
you
I'm
go.
not the problem.
There-
I'm not the problem, y'all. I keep telling y'all this.
Well, I always try to go by the saying that intent doesn't negate impact.
Yeah.
So there's things that you might do or you say, and you may have really not meant to hurt somebody's feelings. You might have been joking, but it came off wrong, or something happened to them and it just like it hit them the wrong way. All you can do, even when you apologize for that, you don't even say, I didn't mean it. You just say, I didn't know that was going to hit you in that way. I apologize. Because even if you didn't mean it that way, the impact still hit the way that it did. And for me, I know when I'm the drama or when I'm the problem, when I walk away from whatever kind of interaction that happened, and then like my brain just keeps going. I just keep thinking about. I'm like, I mean, I already do that anyway. I just kind of like replay stuff in my mind anyway, which is just extra. But once I'm like just thinking about it, I know I probably did something a little different, and I'm reflecting on how I could have done things a little bit differently. And a lot of times when that happens, I'll take it to like a trusted friend, family member. My mom is really great to be able to talk through things. Like she listens, and when I do some fucks, don't tell her I said that. She don't. Yeah. But when I do some fuck shit, she will tell me respectfully, like I hear what you're saying, and here's how you maybe could have done that a little bit better. So it's always good to have people in your life who
can hold
they
you
love
accountable.
you, they have your best intentions at heart, and they're gonna tell you about yourself when you need to hear about yourself. Even when it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to hear about yourself. But so that's how, for me, that's how I realized, okay, I think I could have done this a little bit better. And then I did want to bring back something that you said, Doc, about emotional maturity, because I think that's really important too. What does emotional maturity look like in friendships and dating?
I feel like emotional maturity looks like knowing that building a relationship, platonic, romantic, or otherwise, takes work. When you're no longer bound by proximity, a lot of relationships are formed by proximity. We went to the same school, we live in the same neighborhood, we in the same class. Once you don't have that anymore, you begin to have emotional maturity, because now I have to care about intentionally spending time with you, intentionally being there, intentionally making sure our lives are still integrated. Intentionally now we get to see each other outside of this common thing. We're not talking about, oh, the professor's so stupid, blah, blah, blah. Oh, class was so bad. We're talking about life, and we're talking about each other. And now we're tasked with caring about each other beyond our circumstances. And if you can't do that in a relationship that's not romantic, then are you emotionally mature?
That's a great point.
So that's my take on it. What do you think, Hazel, girl?
I just feel like emotional maturity, like, I ain't gonna speak on a friendship, right? But I feel like with dating, I don't know. I think it's just about learning your person. Like, I'm just more of learning on who my person is to understand and put some guards down in order to kind of like make that person feel better and their emotions. Because if I know the triggers, bitch, okay, I'm not messing with that, honey. And if your triggers, if I can't do that for you, then it's good to know when to let it go. And I think a lot of people got to understand too, it's okay to just be friends these days. It is okay to just be friends. We do not have to make everything a relationship type of thing. We can just be a good friendship. We don't have to always be tied to the knot, because that's what we grew up on.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's just be friends. Let's just be cool. Because we don't got to take it to where it needs to get to.
Yeah.
You're right. I have an example about emotional maturity. So one of my closest friends, who's been my friend since, oh my God, we were like 14. There was a couple of years ago. That's a whole other story for another podcast. This work situation I had. The part that I'll tap into is that the person in leadership took us to a cemetery as a bonding exercise. So this happened not long after that whole situation. It was crazy. So anyway, we had there was something that happened, and we were all like with a group of folks or whatever, and I was just in not a really great mental space.
Yeah.
And some of the ways that I was existing, or the way I was with that group of people, she was just like, ooh, this is not good. So she took a couple of months, I think, to really think it through. Or like, okay, how am I going to address this with April? And we went to lunch one day, and we were just catching up. And then she like slid into the conversation really nicely, and just like really talked to me about, hey, here's what this looked like. Here's how it came off. I've known you for years. I know this isn't how you are. So I just wanted to talk to you about that, get a sense of what's going on. And I respected her even so much more because of that. Hey, Jean, that's my homegirl. Because she could have been like, all right, well, I've known April for all these years, but I don't know what's going on. But she really took the time to be like, okay, this isn't how April is. I'm upset about what happened. let me allow myself to think through how to address this, to be calm, not be upset, not approach this in anger, and then bring it to my homegirl because I want her to be friends. I want her to be okay, and I value our friendship, so I want to be able to address this. So I wanted to shout her out because I just thought that was really emotionally mature of her to address it in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And I think you basically like being able to take, complex problems without flattening them. Like sometimes there's not a right or wrong or a good or bad. It's just something isn't working. And like you said, sometimes it's okay to let go and be like, you know what? Neither one of us are terrible people in this relationship, but we're just not good together. Back to that whole, like, it doesn't have to be a villain thing. Sometimes I think people, that's another way to measure emotional maturity. You don't always have to look for something or someone to blame. Sometimes shit just don't work. And the best thing you could do is recover and move forward. Like, you don't have to find, like, this person at fault and their person, this. Sometimes that's not always the case. And being able to decipher when, yeah, okay, you clearly were the problem, or maybe the problem is just this isn't aligned. And being able to, decipher between the two.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's bring it on up a little bit. We done got real deep into our field. We like Snow Allegra, those fields, right? So let's go ahead and bring it back. Let's bring it up a little bit. We gonna kick it to you, Hazel.
Yes,
we want some games. We want some games.
Well, I got the game.
You know what time it is.
All right, y'all. So we're going to lighten it up and we're going to get into our this or that. So we're going to choose this or we're going to choose that. So I'm going to give y'all two things and y'all just give me one or one. Give me one. Just give me one. So first it's peace or passion.
Ooh. I'm going with passion.
What type of passion?
What type of passion? What passion you talking about?
What passion is according to you? What's your...
Okay. Yeah, passion. You can have passion with your boo.
Okay.
You can have passion about your career. You can have passion about just living.
Okay. I can't have both, I guess. Look at me not following the rules. I'm the problem. Yeah. I'm gonna say passion and be honest and not lie. A little excitement is good. Peace is good. But I'm not a young hoe no more because I'm in my mid-30s.
Right.
But I like to do young hoe things. I like to have fun and be outside. I want a little shit. I want a little spice in life. Things are a little crazy. I want to feel alive. So I'm gonna pick passion.
Okay, because I thought we was talking about sex when it comes to passion. I thought we was talking about like love and affection versus peace. I was like, hold on, okay. Well, in that case, then mine would be passion too. I would choose passion too. I mean, you can still have a little peace. It's gonna be a little chaotic, but we can still have a little peace in there. We never know. Oh, so next one is stability or freedom.
Freedom. Give me freedom or give me death. Stability, I feel like, can make it complacent. Also, I'm an entrepreneur, so obviously, I value freedom because it ain't always stable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna lean. It's real close, but I'm gonna lean a little bit towards freedom, with the understanding that freedom ain't always free. Which, I mean, it's that cliche. We're not talking about it in that way though, because I had to. When the layoffs happened and I had to leave the stable job that I had, and like, okay, here's how things are going, and then had to make it work, braiding, part-time, a client, and fundraising, DJing. I mean, it's a lot. So I value the freedom I have doing that, but I mean, it's a lot. It comes at a cost.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing in this world free.
Very true.
But no, like, for real, I mean, that's true. Ain't nothing in this world is free. That's why I would choose freedom. Because it's really nothing in this world that's free. So I feel like you got to make your freedom how you make it. Because, I mean, older me, like right last year me, probably said stability. Because that's all I know. It's just like, do this, do that, do this, do that. And then you get stable. But now that I have more freedom this year, like just like I got something off my back, because everything's, like I said, everything's not free. You still got to do the work. But having something off my back to give me a little bit more freedom, I do love. And in fact, like, ain't nothing where that's free. Let's get to that point. Let's get to the point where we can have everything in this world for the free. Free 99, don't mind. Next is love or respect. RESPECT.
I'm a lover girl, so I'm gonna say love. I love love. Even when I was like a little kid and I was like a nerdy girl and I had braces and I was skinny, I had a bobblehead. My dad wouldn't get me fashionable glasses. Them shits was thick. Like, and I bring this up because, you know, you like when you were in like elementary and stuff, kids used to give the Valentine's cards. You had the kids would like try to play me to the left. The teacher would be like, no, you still got to give her a card. I still loved love because I feel like if you truly love someone, like, respect is almost organic.
Okay.
Because you want to care for it. Like, if you respect like if you love nature, you're not gonna destroy it. So I feel like love is so expansive that I'm gonna choose that.
I was gonna say I feel like respect is a part of love, but but now listen to what you say. You know, somebody can respect you and not love you. I think I'm gonna go. Shoot, I think I'm gonna go with respect. But I do still feel like if someone loves you, they respect you as well. If they truly love you, if they
Yeah.
telling you they love you and they are treating you in ways that show that they're not respectful to you, then they don't really love you. But I feel like respect across everything, including love relationships, work relationships. It when people respect you, they're going to treat you in a way that
That's true.
is not demeaning, or when you have to check them, like we
That's
talked about
true.
earlier, if they have respect for you, then they'll make sure they like straighten up a little bit. So I'm gonna go with respect.
Yeah, I'm always going to respect first, because I feel like you can't love me if you can't respect me. That's just how I look at it. You cannot love me if you cannot respect me. I'm sorry. The love is fake if it ain't. I'm sorry. The love is fake, bitch. Because bitches will sit there and be like, oh, I love you. And oh my God, I left for you being da-da-da. This weird ass bitch over here with this
Right.
green ass hair,
Yeah,
bitch.
right.
What you saying? Bitch, you better motherfucker respect me in my motherfucking green hair, huh?
Like, I just
So
love
it's like,
love.
yeah. I get, but I definitely get your concept.
Yeah.
But it's like, baby, you gotta respect me first. Hold on.
And also maybe because maybe I got a little delulu as a Salulu and I'm
Yeah.
such a main character in my head. But you don't respect me. You can't take nothing that I built by my own hands, brick by brick. It's mine. So whether you respect me or not, it's here. Whether you respect the big black brown body in the green wig, it's gonna be here. It's gonna be in your face. And bitch, I love it. I love me and I love people. So it's like respect to me is like relative. I feel like it's kind of like outside of like nature and spirituality, when we talk about people, respect is nice, but I feel like it's so easy to feign too. Like people can fear things or want approximation of things and make it look like respect. Like you my boss, so you know I
Good point.
respect you or whatever, but get a demotion. See
That's
how
a
they
good-
treat your ass.
That's a good point.
No shade.
It'd be different. It wasn't respect. It was like this bitch could fire me. I'm the lay low.
This one's a little deep. We got closure or moving on without closure.
Yeah, I'm always going for closure. Yeah, you don't always get it, so that's why when you can get that closure, it's so important. On a number of different levels. For some things, if the dude, or well, in my case, because I date men, if we're closing this out, there's closure. If I'm talking to the dude and he's somebody who we still have mutual respect for each other, even after it's ended, then I can learn some things about how I am in a relationship and be able to be like, okay, these are some things that I can, you know, maybe here's some ways that I can grow in a relationship. Or in some cases, when you're having those closure conversations, you can be like, oh, okay, I was thinking I did that shit. No, that's on him. You know, so that's what it is for me.
What about you, Hazel?
For me, I want real closure. Let's get into that. Real closure.
Okay.
A lot of y'all be phony. A lot of y'all be faking y'all closure.
Faking
like a
them
lot
up.
of y'all don't. really, like you said, like you want someone to keep it real with you of like, why these things didn't work and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people just be like closing stuff off just to like close it and move on. And they think about it still later on in their head, like, damn, like, or when you said, or you like, you leave something and then you like, damn, I wish I would have said this to them, like, da da da, like, it's fake closure. So for me, I want real closure, like really get everything out, say what you gotta say, and let's move on and close the chapter versus still holding on to it later on and not really moving on. Like you haven't got your full closure yet. So please, when we have a conversation about our relationships or anything like that, let it all out. Don't just keep stuff in and hold things back.
Yeah. I am moving on without it.
Ooh.
Because I teach my clients closure is for you and comes from you. So I pose it this way. Let's say you were in a really terrible relationship. Horrible. Worst thing that ever happened to you. Is there anything that they could say to you and you'd be like, that makes me feel better. Thank you for that. Is it going to erase everything that they've done? Is it going to erase all the changes that you went through as a person? I feel like closure is a process that comes from internal introspection, like, and reflecting and you making what can be peace. Because some endings are just not going to be peaceful. You have some mean, terrible people in the world. They not fucking sorry. And you going to go around talking about, I just want closure. It's been 10 years. And they going to re-traumatize your ass again. And you going to be like, why did I ever have that conversation? So I feel like closure comes from you. And it can only happen through you, through processing it. And so that doesn't mean I don't believe in having conversations or if closure is an opportunity, but I see it as something when it comes to other people as optional because they don't have to engage with me. They can choose not to grow. They can choose to say, fuck you, you wrong, and I'll do it again. Am I going to keep saying, but we need to leave off with me understanding? I may never understand why they did that. And if I understand it, does it matter? Is it going to take away the hurt? Is it going to take away the pain? Am I just going to have a better understanding of it and then say, damn, but that's still, I wouldn't do you that way. So I'm for moving around, doing your own processing, doing your introspection, getting support from your loved one, and having the closure that can come from that, but not having the expectation that I will get closure. Not everybody's on the same healing journey I am. Not everybody's in therapy. Some people don't even believe in it. So I cannot go around expecting that they even understand that process.
That's a good point. I had thought about it that way, but like, you right.
I like this one, y'all. This is the last one. Being understood or being accepted. Understood. Do you want some understanding or do you want some accepting?
Like escape.
What I need from you is understand.
Do we need some understanding or do we need some accepting around this place?
Damn, this was kind of like a
this
loop
is a
for
hard
me.
one.
Because I almost want to say neither. This is where respect matters to me. If you don't understand, respect my existence. You don't have to accept it.
Yeah, I think as a doll, I think that, living in a world where people don't really accept, accept it a lot. I think it's just because people don't really understand it and try to like get a kind of a breakthrough of like, what made you think that way? Like I had family members who always ask me like when I came out, they was like, oh yeah, like, like they'll sit down with me like, what made you think that? Like, it's so crazy because like, and it's so crazy because like people, when I grew up, I wasn't like, no, I was not a man. Like, bitch, I was not no little ass boy running around. I was, but like, but like they always knew, like, it always gave like, oh, like, this is a little girl. Like, this is a little girl. Like, this is a little girl in the boys' clothes, okay? So like, the fact that they actually sat down with me and was like kind of like, understand it before they could really just accept it. Because even my mom, like, she was like, before she could really accept, like, she had to talk to me through, like, and make sure she understood what I was doing. Because also it's just like, you never want to accept something from somebody that they don't even have a full understanding of what they got going on.
Yeah.
Like people could like just tell you anything and you'll just accept it because you want to accept it. But do you really understand, like, you know, like an apology?
Yeah.
If you really say sorry to somebody, someone could accept it. But also, do you know why you saying sorry?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you saying sorry just so they could stop crying or stop saying that you did something bad to you? Like, you know, so I think you always got to understand before you accept something. You got to understand it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Yeah, I think understood before accepted. Because I mean, again, like you said, someone can understand you, and then y'all might not fuck with each other, but y'all have an agreement. Y'all have an understanding. Y'all understand each other. Y'all not really gonna deal with each other, but y'all respect. I see you. You see me.
Yeah.
We gonna do our own thing. If we're in a work environment, we got to work together. We ain't kicking it after work. But I see you. We can
gonna
work
get this
together.
money. We'll get that money.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can understand someone,
Yeah, I think if it was on my preference, I would want understanding. Acceptance, I feel like because of I'm at so many intersections as like Black woman. I don't really. So I try to explain this. I don't explain it to my family because I love y'all, but I ain't got the time. Like I identify with womanhood, but not really. So I'm like a Black woman, yes, but womanhood, as it's been put in this country, no. So I don't really see myself as non-binary because I can't separate my Blackness from my womanhood. It's Black womanhood. So for people to understand that, I appreciate. I don't really care if you accept it though, because like I said, I'm at so many intersections. I'm dark skinned, I'm fluffy, I'm loud, I'm from the South. Like I'm used to motherfuckers not accepting shit.
Right.
It doesn't stop
Right.
it.
Right.
So I would prefer understanding
Yeah.
over just blind acceptance.
Because how can you not accept something or accept something without understanding it?
Yeah,
That's what I would
absolutely.
look at.
Very
Like, how
true.
can you hate something and just you don't even understand? Like, bitch, you just hate it because bitch, your homegirl said she hated it. Like, what?
Right. Somebody told you should hate that.
So yeah, so
Blind acceptance is why y'all feel like Chris Brown.
all right, y'all. So that was our this or that segment. Let us know in the comments which one y'all will be picking, either this or that.
All right, you guys, we are going to get into our carefree key. I think I'm going to keep it simple. As things get crazy, Black women, put your capes down. A la Dr. Raquel Martin.
Shout out.
Remember to rest. Rest and joy is resistance. You can still do work, but still keep in mind being carefree. What do you guys think?
I'm on board with that.
Burn them capes.
Yes. Rest
Burn
is
them
resistance.
Burn them capes. Shout out to Trisha Hersey too. She is the Nap Bishop.
Yep.
She does rest is resistance as things warm up. I want you to make sure that you are rested and prepared. And I think that's enough. Try resting for the next 45 days or incorporating rest in everything that you do and be enjoyable in everything that you do and see how you feel.
No shade from me. Girl, wake up. But no, like it's getting hot outside. So I would just say, for me, just get out when you can. If you do need a rest, like, you've been working hard, like, baby, I've been going to get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep every day. Then girl, get your rest. But if you are well rested, got your 8 hours, 10 hours of sleep, then definitely go outside, coexist with people, understand and learn people, new people. You never know. So just be more open-minded to going out and having fun still. I know we do live in a crazy world and it gets crazy about the stories you hear. But just remember, always stay prayed up and stay protected.
Young
Amen.
ho.
Free.
All right, y'all. So we'll be go ahead and closing out for this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And definitely check us out on all our audio platforms, Revolt Podcast Network, Apple, Spotify, and all the things. Also, the Carefree Black Girls are back on tour. Y'all already know. And you guys know the next stop is in Philly. So what's good, Philly? Philly, what's good? You know, so make sure all my Philly girls pop out. New York, New Jersey, all the East Coast girls definitely pop out for the Carefree Black Girl podcast. It's your girl, Hazel Harvey. You can find me at all platforms at Hazel Harvey, except TikTok, Hazella Harvey, for all things me, lifestyle, and ballroom. And passing it to not June, not May, but April.
April Harley, aka DJ She's A Plus, aka your favorite fundraiser's favorite fundraiser. You can find me on Instagram at she's_A_plus. You'll always find my updated sets around the city, or when I'm traveling, you'll find my sets there as well. I'm also there on Threads at she's_A_plus. And kicking it over to the doc.
It's your girl, Dr. Phoenix Lux, your favorite fantasy baddie, therapy fairy, and blurry historian. You can find me at Phoenix Flux on all platforms, Blurry Love on Instagram. If you are a Black woman or fembe and you need a safe space, you can also find me at the Care Salon, where we are licensed, certified, clinical care. And also, don't forget to follow Carefree Black Girl on Threads.
Thank you.
Get into the community, Threads, talk to us.
Join the hashtag CFBG pod.
And that is it. This is Carefree Black Girl.
Signing out. Later.